everybody. Welcome to the Friday stream. I hope you guys didn't panic yesterday and you thought about that 28% moving average. A lot to cover throughout today's session. Things are looking better in the pre-market, and we have hopefully a green day today. Not time to panic just yet, guys, but there will be a time to panic, I'm sure, over the next couple of months. It certainly will be. Three, two, one. Welcome everyone to the stream. How are you guys going around the world? It's great to be here. It's great to be at the end of what has been kind of an annoying week. Let's call it the sideways week, unless you're in some of the big FANG stocks. US 30, the Dow powering here in the futures. And I think, so we don't talk about the Dow that much, but maybe it's a great place to start. How are you guys going? How is the chat going? Let me know. How's your day been going, guys? If you've got great stories, tell me the stories. I'll read them out. Why not? I'm going to take my money back in the coming weeks, says Rurang Gensan. I hope that means you're going to get it back. That's awesome. That is awesome. Learn TA, get the free FX Evolution cheat sheets from the link pinned above. That's correct. Thank you very much, Dave. And also thank you for banning those nasty spammers in the Discord community today. Truly Messiah did not like this week. Victor Lau says we have survived so far. Yes, it's definitely been quite tough. And then Dan Danish says what we're all thinking right now. It's going to be a good day today. I hope so for you guys. I hope so. But that doesn't mean that we can take, yesterday's movement down as we can't take it lightly. We cannot take it lightly because I really believe that sometime over this next quarter, probably this quarter, I think, we will have a pullback. And I still think we're going to get a 10% pullback. I really do, later on. Now, we've been optimistic on this channel, but we're starting to get neutralized. We're neutral to slightly bullish. That's how we're feeling. Let's look at this US 30 to get started while the chat brings me some great stories of the day. We have here support. Beautiful trend line on the Dow currently holding. You'll see this is what happened yesterday is very, very small in the overall daily trend. And we have a clear breakout, that could occur next week. And if that occurs, some big, very delicious Dow stocks may be also pumping through. Look at this level. Resistance on the daily. Imagine if we get there today, on Monday, or even if we blast through this today, and then on Monday we're through this zone and we're looking towards the next level. Where's the next level going to be? Probably something like a 36 or something like that. Makes sense when we're thinking about the SP500, which we'll look at soon. But we also have a very clear trend line here. And the reason I bring it up is because where do we know the problems are? If the market goes like this, and then comes down and then breaches our trend line, it will most likely bounce back up. And we need to know the bears have full control of the market at this point. If this happened, theoretically, because it's a chess game, we got to get out. We got to bail at least on some of our orders. Now, it's all about understanding what is your plan for things. If you're holding something for 10 years, Would you sell here? Probably not. Why the hell would you do that? You look and you have buy the dip opportunities. You may not, maybe your favorite stock doesn't come down enough. But what you are looking at is weaknesses in the market. And the Dow was a perfect opportunity to be spotting this relatively soon. And we will start covering it on the channel because I like this level. And I also like the trend line. And I like the things that we're seeing so far. Let's see what the chat says here. Alarizi says, I love pullbacks. Adrian Lim says, what's going on with crypto? Are we in denial of a bear market? I think we're probably going to find out next 2 weeks, maybe even this weekend if we are in denial on a bear market here. Usually a bear market, you'll see a series of lower highs. We'll take a look at that very, very soon. Simon Alexander says, another huge upgrade for Docu today, Tom. Get on board. I'm never getting on board Docu unless it's a trade. I'm sorry, I use the software. It sucks. I don't like it. I don't like the software, but that doesn't mean that Fortune 500 companies don't use it and it kicks ass in those. I just don't like it. It's a personal preference. So for me, DocuSign wouldn't be an investment. It'd be more of a trade. And you know what? I trade Zoom. I don't like Zoom. I don't like DocuSign. I would still trade DocuSign. It's a totally different scenario. It's a totally different scenario. Trio says account is up 52% this week off a quick AMC and SPY puts. Yeah, those AMCs yesterday. Whoa. If you bought that level, you did very, very well. So firstly, Dow looks exceptional and could be a very, very cool spot. We noticed yesterday our daily 20 exponential moving average was hit. And we look, I think we got it right, community. Let's give ourselves a clap because at least we didn't panic here. Is that correct? Community, would you agree we didn't panic? Maybe you panicked. But in general, we know the 20 exponential moving average, the red one, if you were only to put one indicator on this chart, this would be the one I'd put on, the 20, the 20, the 20, the 20. Usually, when a bigger pullback occurs, guys, when a nice, delicious pullback occurs that you want to really be buying the dip, it's usually the 20 exponential that you target, okay? If you were the biggest nufty, which kind of means like you don't really know what's going on, maybe you're just sitting there and you're like, hey, I don't want to learn TA. And you just looked at this chart a few times a year and it was down at your weekly 20 moving average. And you went back in history and you looked at the 20 moving average and you were like, I buy this level. Me smooth brain, I buy 20 exponential moving average. You'd be pretty good. In fact, you'd probably be better than fund manager. Literally. You just buy on the 20 exponential moving average. Now, will you sometimes get it wrong and hit, it'll go down more? Sure. But the 20 exponential moving average, I think you can clearly see in this rally so far, it's been the king. The weekly, it's been the king or queen of moving averages, and I believe it will continue to be one of the ones that we need to pay attention to. It's used heavily in the industry, and you should be paying attention to it. So, theoretically, will we see our trend line get hit in July? I'd certainly hope so. If it does occur, all of the great plans of the community will have worked out. And we have here 906 viewers already coming in. Thank you very much, guys. So, yeah, that would be awesome. Let's look at the 2 hour here. Oh, it's beautiful. I hadn't even looked at this. I was out, guys, but I'm back. So, trough, peak, higher trough, higher peak. Beautiful stuff, guys. If this holds up into the market, it's the exact type of thing. It's the lightning bolt. It's the type of thing that means what Wall Street did yesterday is most likely just a little pullback, just to scare people, to create that fear. Oh, it's too toppy. Everyone's fearful. I'm noticing that the retail community is very fearful. And usually when the retail community is fearful, the market goes and makes new highs. And I've actually noticed that the retail community has been fearful for quite some time. In fact, they've been fearful since over here in May. So ever since here, most people are just saying the market's going to crash, the market's going to crash, the market's going to crash. And look, they'll be right one day. Of course. Like, anything, they'll eventually be correct. The question is, and then they'll say, I told you so. I told you so. But they miss so much beautiful opportunity. And I said this from Druckenmiller. Druckenmiller, you may hate the guy as an investor. I don't know. I don't know him personally, obviously. If I did, would you hire me, Druckenmiller, please? I'll come work for you, bro, in your little investment firm that you used to have. The thing that he said is it pays to be an optimist. And you know what? When I heard that quote, it hit home to me. Because if you're always, I'm actually quite bearish all the time, mentally. I always believe there's risk. I always believe that the valuation is stupid and makes no sense and the whole world's going to explode one day. That's what I believe sometimes, yeah? When I think about the Fed and I think about Japan's bonds and I think about monetary policy, makes me pissed off. I get really annoyed because then I think about the future when I'm like 70 and what will happen to the money system. And I don't want to think about that anymore, but it pays to be an optimist whenever you can be. So we've got the trough, we've got the peak, we've got the higher trough. And then even today, if we get a little bit of a pullback here, where do we expect buyers to come back in? Around that 43.25. Around that 43.25 because previous peak, previous kind of trough level, and a lot of moving averages there on the 2 hour. And I've noticed the 2 hours been pretty successful for picking it up. So community trend lines, where we're aiming for, let's see if we can get there. In terms of raw percentages away from current price, we're only talking about 2.9% away if it went in a vertical line. So we're not actually asking for much out of the market anymore to hit this line. And that will be certainly something that we are looking at. The other one is, of course, the QQQ or Nasdaq. Doesn't matter which code you use, it'll give you the same thing. So our first trend line got hit, came down. It bounced, of course, yesterday. And it'll be a bit higher than this now, of course, in the pre-market. Oh, it's about the same, 0.07. 0.07, so it's around the same level. And we're expecting the Nasdaq to potentially get to 367, let's call it 370. So if that happens, how much is that away from current price? Still, about a 2.7, 2.9. So we're not expecting much more in this bull market before it faces what I would argue one of the biggest technical challenges it's had in quite some time. You could say, oh, the RSI is overbought, Tom. Oh, the MACD is, diverging, blah, blah. They always will be, guys. Okay, that's the problem with some of these indicators. They're excellent when used together with other reasons. If you only find one reason to place a trade, and it's not the 20 exponential moving average on the weekly, you're probably doing it wrong, okay? You're probably doing it wrong. And that is a big issue here. Johnny Bravo says, Jay Nibble, I too have watched gains disappear. Lol, getting better at taking profits and being patient. Johnny, you hit the nail on the head there straight away, man. Being patient. My community, I hope some of you are getting patient, but I notice that most people aren't, and it sucks. And the problem is that even when I run the Discord, even when I do content for you guys privately, I do content for you daily, everyone wants to know, where am I going to make all the money today? Unfortunately, I've learned over the years that sometimes you just got to chill. You got to sit back and you got to go, there's nothing for me here. And why I'm saying to you guys is that I think the reality of the situation is there's probably only a good 2 to 3, 4% left in these markets before they face a crisis, is because it's a time where if you're not being nimble and you don't want to be that way, that possibly, even if you don't want to view this stream anymore, I understand, that it's not the greatest time ever to be investing. I just don't think it is. Do you guys think it is, chat? Is it the best time ever to be investing? Options is definitely a strategy that I believe a lot of people will be using here. That is certainly one of those things. Okay, we've got a super chat coming in here. Guess Oka has said, or Oka probably, has super chatted $4.99. You trash talked Virgin Galactic yesterday. Yep, I do. Thoughts on SPCE today? Okay. I trash talked it yesterday. I'll trash talk it today. And I'll trash talk it every single day because I still don't care about this. Now, I know you've given me $4.99, man. I appreciate that. And you can say, Tom, you're wrong. I'm not looking at the short game here on SPCE. I'm trying to say to people that this is a disaster waiting to happen in your account if you don't know what you're doing with it. And look, you could go and say, he's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Does anyone honestly think this stock is going to be $60? Anyone? $60 in a year's time? Guys, is this going to be $60 in a year's time? I don't know. I don't think so. It hit $43, but I'm being real with you. If you made money off it, congratulations, man. Is it going well? Well, I don't know. It hit up here where it kind of sold off almost around the same time. I told you guys about this level. I would have been the hell out here. I would have been the hell out down here. It's just not for me. I can't stand it. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. But I do understand that successful mission, flight to the moon, flight to wherever, I don't even know where he's going. Flight somewhere. Maybe he's going to the sun. And when he gets there, if it's all successful, it probably will moon. It probably will make a new high. I don't know. But usually with this thing, it will not be at this price. I will come back and I will look at this crud and I will then say, is this at $52? Because I think it's too early to invest in space. And the reality is the reason 3D printing, go look it up. It sucked when it first came out. Oh, it's so great. It went on a massive run. It got destroyed. You lose all your money. You know, Kathy Wood, she invests in innovation. It's the right time for many of her funds. So she will be successful. She will continue to be successful over the next decade. Because it is the right time out of a pandemic for innovation to be successful. This is my rant and my belief. Do I think it's the right time for this stock? No. Do I think it's the right time for space stocks in general? I think it's an incredibly exciting time. And maybe some people make money out of it, but I don't believe it's commercialized to the capitalistic ways that stocks need to run. That is why I feel it. JT Raj says, yes, it'll be 60, but 60 cents. John Moore says military contracts are lucrative. That is an argument that you could say they're going to get lots and lots of contracts and those contracts are going to make a ton of money. And that's probably the main argument that you've got. Can you get the government to give you enough cash? Because if it's outside of the government contracts, there may not be enough here. So we'll check it out very, very soon. 60 Australian dollars maybe, says Michael. You think our money's worth nothing, do you, Michael? It's worth a little bit. Branson is a hippie from the 60s, says John Cook. All right. $10,000, says Huey. Look, the only reason I rant about it is I just don't want people to get smashed by this like they got smashed in plenty of other meme stocks. I feel the AMC. I feel the GME. You know, those types of things. I understand why they're working, why they're moving, why they're doing their stuff. And I also understand that there's a huge fear and greed complex there. And you've got to keep holding. And that's why those two hold up. Because there are apes that sit there that have 10 shares and they don't care. They're just going to sit there and hold them. They're not going to let them go. So SPCE, I feel like it kind of hit a resistance. Possibly it continues to rally into the news. And then, of course, the reality may be that it comes down. But you know what? Just for you, guess, I will put SPCE, since you paid me $5 for me to literally rant about it. And I will put this in speculatives. Okay? And I will watch it. And in 1 month's time, I will come back. And then in 12 months' time, I will come back. And we will find out where this thing is. Because I don't like it. No. And it's not because I don't love the idea, guys. I like the idea. The idea is awesome. I like Star Trek. I like Star Wars. Not that that means that, you know, Star Trek's more about the exploration. Star Wars is more about, you know, who the hell knows really, Death Stars and destruction and stuff. But, and terrible films made by Disney. But other than that, you know, I actually have an appreciation for those terrible prequel films after seeing the Disney films. And I can't believe I could say that. I would never think that was a thing, but it is a thing now. So SPCE, I wish you all the best. We did even say that there probably would be buy the rumor. I think I even said this yesterday. I said buy the rumor into the concept of the launch. Then the launch goes all right. It might go a little bit higher. And then I would be like, get out, run. DC 85 CPA, US $10. Thank you very much. Fubo hit critical 200 period EMA yesterday and bounced at the open. Cool, man. It hasn't looked back. It seems to have a reverse head and shoulders playing out thoughts. Let's have a look at Fubo for you, sir. Fubo TV. Okay, you must be on quite a small moving average. So this is a good sign of why you don't usually short. So a lot of people would have looked at this and they think, break of support. I'm going to short this stock. It doesn't pay to short. Shorting is very difficult. It is incredibly difficult to short, guys. You've got to be very key. You've got to be very in there, and also probably use options, mostly because at least then you can limit your risk. So you're saying inverse head and shoulders. Now, I'm assuming you're going to be on like a 5-minute chart for this thing to be an inverse head and shoulders. So I don't quite see inverse head and shoulders. I do see a series of higher lows. Let's go to the daily here for a second. So that's the daily 200 you're talking about. This was an inverse head and shoulders down here. We talked about it on the channel. I remember it. We got all excited about Fubo into this level. But, I'm cool with this level to this level. That's pretty cool. Then we got excited about it here again, and it went high. And do I like this zone? I do. I like this zone quite a lot. It makes sense. You've had support, 200, a false break potentially yesterday to scare everyone else off, to take out the stop losses, to hurt retail traders' psychology, which is the main aim. And then we've bounced up very, very heavily. And you can see it's up 1.52% in the pre-market. Not bad. Let's go down to the smaller time frames. 15 minute. So you look at this. Yes. Resistance 29. Okay. And it's already going through there, 29.35. Look, if the market keeps firing, this is exactly the type of reversal we want. You think about it. It's gone a whole bunch of series of lower peaks all the way through. It's been on a trajectory that's very, very aggressively down. And all of a sudden, it's got a cross to the upside here for the first time through all of this negativity. Yeah. If you like the stock, it's doing the right stuff. And congratulations. That's a huge pickup. Percentage-wise, if you got the low, that's already a 14% move. Very well done. Thank you. RVA Live Sound says, my friend Scott would fight you for dissing Star Wars films. I'm not dissing Star Wars films. The original 3, amazing. The prequels, I have more of an appreciation of them. The Disney ones, questionable. Okay? The Mandalorian, 9.8 out of 10. He won't hate me. Your friend won't hate me. He'll be like, that's all good. Maybe I can even give it a 10 out of 10. I really like The Mandalorian. I bought Disney shares because of The Mandalorian last year. And then I sold them when they announced all of their random crazy stuff that created the sugar spike. But yeah, that's the way I feel about it. That's all right. We all have our opinions, guys. It's all good. So Fubo, I quite like it. It's good. Let's go through the rest of these. So we've got the US 500 out of the way. We've got the US 100 out of the way. We're feeling okay. Let's have a quick look here on the charts. Now, yesterday we did discuss AAPL, which I want to bring up. Where's our AAPL? Here it is. AAPL, 2 hour 20. Look, big boom. Came straight through. And this isn't as good as Fubo, because obviously Fubo made you a lot more, but it had a nice little return, 1.88, down a little bit here in the pre-market. But the 2 hour, it just shows you the power of the 20 and the power of doing the analysis and realizing it's a reoccurring event time and time and time again. Time and time and time again. Damon Sani says, Australian $7.99. I remember you, Damon. Hey, Tom, how's things? Good. Our Aussie index should be used SPY 200 or XJO for analysis. Probably SPY 200. It doesn't really matter. But I would use usually just an ASX 200. You could use STW as a code as well. Let's have a look at this XJO code. This is okay. Let's have a look at the ASX 200 code for a second for you. Yeah. I would just use the futures here and realize that the reason I use the futures a little bit is because the reality of the situation is the American market rules our market to a degree. And is this a great support for our Australian market? Absolutely. If our market gets through this zone, through this support, am I worried? Absolutely. At that point, I would be only considering the short side and how much further the short side could go down. It's kind of similar to, it hits it at the same time as the American market's hitting the 20 exponential moving average. It makes sense. You look at some big stock here in Australia, like CBA, and you go to a daily, and you think, I'm looking for a closure below this. See, series of lower peaks. Guess what didn't happen? It got underneath and fully rejected it by the end of the day. No closure, no sell-off, big stock, definitely a key and linchpin for, of course, the ASX 200, but it's just not happening yet. Another one for Australian traders out there. If you're looking at NAB, that's a Wyckoff. You want to talk about Wyckoff? That's a Wyckoff. Wyckoff, Wyckoff, Wyckoff. If you see here, there's the false break that steals all the money. There's the other break that steals more money. And then we get a series of lower peaks. Again, if it failed at this zone, do I think it could sell off? Absolutely. Where do I think it goes to? Maybe even a $24, $25 range. So, thank you very much there, Daman. I would probably just use the SPI200, not the XJO code. Not the XJO code. Some XJOs aren't actually the XJO. So just use the SPI200. SPI, S&P, S&P, S&P. They do the better weighting. That's the way to go with it. Stu Pie. I like your name, Stu. $4.99. Are airlines something to be looking at over the next few months? Are people trolling me? Are people trolling me, Stu? I feel like you're trolling me, but maybe you're not. We'll have a look at American Airlines to get started. Oh my God. You know I hate airline companies as well. This is another one of my pet peeves. I don't like anything where, the space one kind of terrifies me in its own way. If the rocket explodes, I lose so much money. I don't want to lose that money, Stu. If the plane explodes or something terrible happens, you lose 20%, and then you end up having this business that doesn't come back for ages. It's amazing how powerful the problems are. So let's look at American Airlines anyway, just from the perspective of where it hit yesterday, because it's a super, super critical zone. Look at American Airlines. Chat, where are we? What does that look like if you were looking at it and it broke below? What do you guys think? Wheat Airlines would be a good one. Yeah, like an airline that carries wheat into a tornado. That would be the worst, too. That would be the worst. This is, of course, a double top style pattern. So you do have your highs, you do have your lows. You've obviously got a trend going into it, which is important to a double top. The good news is it found support. So yes, I can totally see why the pre-market's up pretty hard here. 2093, 2.85%. If you were a buyer of the dip, and you wanted to get in on this recovery, and there's a few of these stocks, look at the Vegas stocks as well, that are getting beaten through. I think that if you're a bull here in the market, in many ways, these present better value than some of the tech stocks out there. Like, think about it. Is this the kind of thing where it was trading at 26, so that's percentage away, 30% away. Remember, in February, it ran through to this period in March. It all started in November, where the big recovery play happened here. And we know that we're in summer in America, that the vaccine rollout's going really well. People are definitely traveling. People don't care anymore. All sorts of things. The Delta variant, maybe, arguably, is the thing that's brought it down here. But if you're like the companies, then yes, they are at supports. What I usually look for here, I look for a pickup, a little bit of a pullback, and a further movement through. And by the time you wait for all of this, it's more than just the lightning bolt. What's going to happen is price will move through the 20 exponential. It will move through the 50 exponential, and you will have a trough, a peak, a higher trough, and all of these moving averages will then be behind price and acting as a potential dynamic support as well for your position over the long term. And you've got also this downward trend line that's going through these last highs. So there's a lot going on here. And I'd probably wait a little bit, but you're right. You are absolutely correct. They're at the key levels. I do dislike these companies, but they're at the key levels. Gotham Bags, super chatted $2. Happy Friday, everyone. Any good wheat stocks? Absolutely not, Gotham Bags, but happy Friday to you. No wheat stocks. I don't even know where wheat is. Where's wheat right now? Where is wheat? Wheat's cheap. Oh no, wheat's more expensive than it used to be. Do I have like a wheat long-term contract on wheat futures? Is this like a long one? Oh yeah. Where did the wheat burn me? Much more eons ago before this. So wheat's getting cheaper. The crops are good, guys. How's coffee going, actually? Just out of interest. Coffee. Do we have... Oh, I'm not even going to look at it. I'll look at it on FidViz later. Thank you for your question. And also, I think you're correct about the airlines. Let's just quickly look at a Vegas stock. So we'll look at Wynn, I guess. Wynn Resorts just quickly here. You know, they just hit daily 200s. This thing got brutalized, like sold off hard. I mean, that's a classic, you know, weakening market, big support. I expect rallies here to the 120. You know, I really do. You got a daily 200 moving average that just hit. You've got previous problems like where it hit through, and you've got arguably a firing Vegas strip. Now, I don't know. I'm not in there. I don't live in America, obviously, but from what I'm hearing from the intel of the community, you guys are saying it's firing and it's making tons of cash. So are they going to, is there a social arb experiment we can play here where we've just hit a support, if you like these stocks, and then does it turn around to the 120? There's potential money to be made here in what has been an incredibly aggressive sell-off. And this is what the market does. It goes too fast. When it goes this fast, so that's the initial rally. This is where all of the retail traders get trapped into it because they're like, I've got to get on board. Then Wall Street steal all your money. And then they recover it a little bit. And then maybe they keep selling it off. I don't know. I don't know where the valuation should be. But 120 makes sense for this thing to bounce back up into. It does make sense for it to go back into that zone. Where's the Friday beer? I don't even have a drink with me today. So unfortunately, I have not bought the Friday beer. But you know, we don't even have time to do that. We only got 28 minutes till this open gets in. And we haven't even talked about everything. So we've got the markets. I think all markets are looking pretty good. Specifically, it seems like based on these sectors that we're seeing, let's have a look at XLF as well. Based on the movements that we're seeing, even where the banks are, I believe that it's going to be like it's a Dow day. It's a Dow day. It's an SP500 day. It's a financial day. You can just tell it just is. Look at the US 10-year. The US 10-year basically hit our 200. It's got to do a little bit of bouncy. It can't stay at 1.25 for that long. Like, this is stupid. Come on, guys. 1.25 for 10 years? No. If it got to 1, I might even buy this up. Because I don't believe that we have an economy in the US, an economy in the world, where we're sitting in an interest rate in 10 years' time at 1.23%. I really don't believe it. I just don't believe it. Not with the recovery that we're seeing coming through. So it could go like Japanese, and then in the Japanese market, it was pretty bad. It was like deflation. But at this stage, I'm not seeing those signs yet from the economy. Sandola77 coming in with the coffee for the weekend. Thank you very much, Sandola. $4. Thank you, man. And then we've got Big Dipper, $5. QCOM, please. No Friday pint. Buy one on me. Thank you very much, man. Big Dipper will do QCOM in a few moments. So we've got US 10-year. It's doing its little thing. We'll go over to the TLT because we have to understand what the big money is doing in the bonds. Now, because they all synchronize together, the bonds are down here this morning, 1.46. So, 146. This is a good sign for the markets to go bullish. So the market's going bullish here with the bonds going down. Bonds going down is good at this stage for us to hit our levels. Now, what I expect after that bond all became the rally is something like the market will pull back, the bonds come down, the bonds hit the 20 moving average, which they've hit now 1, 2, 3 times, let's call it 4 times up here. And then hopefully the bonds turn around and rally again. And then at the same time these are rallying, we're hitting at the top of our trend lines. These markets are connected. And when you guys start to understand they're all connected together, when they do these things, it's like a light bulb moment. You're like, I see what you're doing. You nasty, nasty creatures. You're going to steal everyone's money today, aren't you? You super nasty creatures in Wall Street. And they're just sitting there, sipping their piccolos, their mochaccino lattes, who knows what else, some kind of expensive whiskey. They're laughing at us because they're literally, it's like they're playing out the chess in front of us, and that's what we're looking for here. So TLT, it's all good with me to come back down. Come on down, TLT. It gives us more confidence the market can move up. I say come down. Come down. US 10-year, it's okay if you turn around a little bit here. Not great for the Nasdaq, though I've argued long-term it's fine. The US 500 and US 30 will be the fire pins today. That's what's really happening. The banks, and other stuff. And you know I hate all those sectors, but they are improving, and it's clearly here. Let's go through the gold. Ugh. That daily sucks. That daily sucks so bad. Congestion. I would love to see a print above here. Then we can move to the 1845. If we get underneath this red zone here and we breach down below here, unfortunately, gold will continue to short. So, you know, I think we've got it trapped, and that's the way I'd be really looking at this one. Gold, we'll come back to it probably on the Monday session. Unfortunately, we've got a key support, 1795. If it closes underneath that on like an 8-hour chart or a 4-hour chart, I'm seriously worried for it. Like this might even close in 53 minutes as a long leg doji, and then if we get a closure below, ooh, it's gonna be down, maybe down to here. And if we get a closure above, maybe that will finally be the catalyst that gets us through this high, gets us through that 200, and then we can move towards 1845. So gold's trapped at this stage, and it kind of stinks, but that's all right. It is what it is. VIX coming down, 1746. Got to be nimble and fast with the VIX. We discussed that a little bit yesterday. That's fine. Tesla had a massive bounce yesterday as well before we go to QCOM. Beautiful level. Look, we almost got it good. I mean, it came down a little bit lower. The trend line, the 635 or 631 or whatever this level was, the 200 daily, another one of these ones that's been hitting the 200 daily, and then a huge reversal. So for Tesla fans, if you're in the bull long, and let's say for the rest of the session the thing goes mad, if it does go up to the 670, I would expect some selling pressure to come through here based on previous supports becoming resistances. Go down to something like a 1 hour, have a look at how the price hits it. So the price might go like this, boom, bang. And if it booms through there, great news, you go to 700. And where I'm really interested in Tesla is above 700. I want to get through this noise. I see why people bought here. I totally do. The gap fill eventually happened. I'm worried for this zone, then 700. And I think if it gets back to 700 off this rally, it's probably going to smash it. I think it's going to smash it. That's the way I see it. US oil, whatever. I mean, it's in its little range. If you like US oil at this stage, you know what I feel about it. I feel like it's stuck in a range. Little long lead doji here on the 1 hour. Maybe we get a little 1 hour close above. That'll be very, very nice. Let's move over to some of the stocks we like so we can dial in here for the day. We've got QCOM coming up first. This is a question from Big Dipper. Wants to know what's going on here. 1 hour Big Dipper, good rejection here yesterday. Thank goodness for QCOM. Then we have a potential little double bottom going through to a very key resistance. So it looks like we're going to open at 137.88. I'm looking for it to rally to 139. It'll hit a 20 exponential at that point on the 1 hour as well. And if it does get through 139, that'll be a win here for QCOM because that will put in place the double bottom. I know it doesn't look like a double bottom because you say the wick, but I take it from the body close here. Body close is the most important. This is the fight zone, 139 flat. Daily close above 139 flat. That's awesome. We give that a thumbs up, and hopefully we will then have some rally in the semiconductors next week. So we're looking for that exact zone. Good luck. Daily, not too concerned about this as long, again, I just want that 139 to be breached, and I'll be very, very happy with QCOM. Eka Aurora, Australian $2. TA on CVNA. Let's have a look. CVNA. What is this? This stock. Not bad, actually. Nice. Let's go to the weekly. Yeah. Yeah, man. Looks really good. You know, you've got not only are you going to make a new high, but you've got weekly close above any other higher weekly. We talk about that all the time. You have a long leg doji, which is going to be completely breached as long as it even holds up today, which it looks like. And then you take the distance here on this stock, and even conservatively, if you're taking this distance and not that bit over there, if you take that from the high, you're looking for a sub just under $400 kind of movement. So there could be some good movement here on CVNA. That's a nice breach. Volume is down. Let's have a look at daily volume. Okay. Oh no, there's some good volume around here. There was some funds purchasing in here. Little long leg doji decision made. Overall looks good. Looks good. I can't really fault it in terms of what I look for strongish breakouts. It's pulled back several times. It's thought about it. It false broke. Nasty Wall Street at work right there. And that's why, oh my God, that was blinding. Sorry guys. And yeah, this is the kind of thing that when you see this, you know they extracted money from retail traders, made them go short, and then laughed at them with their piccolos, and then they went up. CVNA looks very good, says Kevin N. Yeah, that's the type of thing you look for sure. Let's hope the market can hold up. Tom Gordon became a member. Thank you very much, Tom Gordon. Welcome to the community. That brings us to 206 members. Appreciate joining the Stonk Squad. Enjoy your emoticons and the little picture of the rocket. Hopefully your stocks rocket and your cryptos rocket, etc. And we will get to crypto in a few moments. Knock, knock. Super chat $2.99. Thoughts on Fibonacci. When is it advantageous? Swing trading, man. Swing trading. I can't really go into... it's in our course in heavy detail. The thing with Fib is what you're looking with Fibonacci is you've got to think logic. I'll just tell you guys one thing. Think about it logically. Everyone goes pyramid level, 61.8 golden Fib. It's the Fib. I want to buy the 61.8 Fib. Wrong. You don't want to buy the 61.8 Fib. It kills sentiment. If a market goes up and a market pulls back 38.2%, which is all a 38.2 Fib is, or 50% of that, what is everyone saying here? Buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. And it comes back too much? I'm scared. So it's all buy the dip, and then it's I'm scared. So by the time the market comes back to a 61.8 Fib, it's losing the momentum of all the people that were excited about it. It's like a flag. If a flag comes back and it keeps going like this, you can't even fly the flag. The flag, everyone's forgotten about it. It's lost its impulsive move. You want that impulsive move whenever possible. So yeah, that'll have to end the session here for Fib, but we will do it one day. K Kennedy's coming in with $9.99. Give K Kennedy a big clap. Massive support there, man. Good morning, Tom. Could you have a look at NEO? And thank you. Yeah, we certainly will. Let's continue through our stocks and actually firstly look at the Webull here for percentage changes this morning. Let's see what we need to dial in at. So AMC up hard, 6.37% yesterday, which was good because it was down 12. Let's have a look at the pre-market here. Looks like that go-to is going up. What else we got? All right, so mostly greens. Okay, very cool. Very cool. Nothing exceptional dialing in on me for this. Okay, let's go over to the screener of the big stocks. Those Pfizer and BioNTech, I believe, announced some kind of booster shot announcement. Seems pretty cool. That was a big thing. JP Morgan, Baidu, thank God. Thank goodness these Chinese stocks have stopped the bleeding for one day. Thank you. Alibaba, okay, held the $200. That's got to be an important zone. $200. I saw Alibaba getting thrashed into 200. We'll talk about it soon. It was just like, it was getting beaten through. We got Coinbase moving up as well, 1.6%-ish. And it looks like on the red side, what have we got there? Adobe, Texas Instruments, Amazon, PepsiCo, some of the big FANG stocks slightly down. And that's probably because of the US 10-year yield. So let's go through a few of these stocks. Firstly, Square, up 0.76%. Frankly, disappointing. Why? because of the cryptos, but we'll talk about them in a second. Let's go over to NEO. I'm not worried for Square, by the way. I just, I rant about this stock a fair bit. NEO, beautiful buying there, guys. If you bought yesterday, I totally understand why. If you were like, I'm going to buy this NEO dip, resistance. If you'd held back and you were a patient beaver for NEO, I think you've done pretty well, because really what you did was you analyzed the fact this thing shot up very quickly, which is easy to see when you go and have a look at a weekly. And when it goes up too quick, it comes down like a rocket ship backwards. Like this. That's what happened. It hit the weekly 20 exponential moving average. It's beautiful. I love that. And then it started moving up. So where do I think NEO can go? I believe it can go back, and it's actually going to open at the resistance here. Why can't this thing go back to 50? Why can't it go back to 55? If you're talking about a business that the Chinese government really wants to work, it's this one. They want to give this gets the 4 green ticks. I don't know what that means, but it gets the 4 green ticks of the government. Surely they want this thing to work. Surely they do. So NEO, it's opening up resistance today. There may be some selling around this zone. It's not actually quite at resistance. Resistance should be around 47.70. So it should rally hopefully into that zone. Good luck. Ignacio Lara became a member for 2 months. Thank you very much. Appreciate your continued support there. And K Kennedy, let's see on the 2 hours. Anything else? Oh, some moving averages there on the 2 hour. Yeah, I definitely think there's resistance here. Right there. Where's that? 47.70. There could be a little bit of Friday resistance if it does rally into that zone. Be careful there. But I'm looking for, ideally, pull back, movement through, pull back, movement up to the 50 again, 55, and then hopefully to the moon. J6 says today the market will soar like an eagle. I may have just added the eagle component, but J6 is feeling very bullish and very positive. Let's go through some others. Z. Not won over by this stock, got to say. Apple seems to be flat for this session. Could continue to be flat. Amazon, probably flat for the session as well. Google. Good bounce yesterday off that support. This is probably my favorite. When we were looking at the trades in the session, this would have been the one I would have gone for. How much did it give you? See, it gave me less percentage, but I liked that one a lot. I just liked it. Resistance, support, range, feels good. We're on YouTube, so we feel good. Now, Snowflake was an interesting one. This has trades going on it. And someone said it's a Pentagon contract. This thing is priming for some action. And if it does get through this 255, you could see it really starting to hammer through. Firstly, you've got a coil range here that's going to at least, you would think, give you that much, which is 274. Snowflake has some extra volume coming in on it the last 2 days from where it has been. It had a huge amount of purchasing, which clearly was some nasty insider trading going on through here, which is good. Yep, I can certainly do that for the person. Sorry, I just had a question come through, so I'll answer that in a second. And I like that volume. It looks good, and I'm looking at that zone. So it's one that you could have on your charts. End phase, big rally off the top here. Oh, it's a good level. If you liked end phase yesterday, you know what? Congratulations getting this. That is a sick level. That is a very, very good level. Resistance, 20, and a support. Oh, bruh. Very nice. 180, 50. I've talked a little bit about this one. I feel like it can go 200 to 220 if the rally does complete and continue to go up here. What else have we got? We got other things. CRISPR, another one that hit big support yesterday. Bounced very hard. You guys know I love this thing. So resistance, support. I like all the CRISPR stocks. You got to be careful with the cash. You also need to have steel in your veins. Steel. Maybe something else. I don't know. Aluminum. Aluminum. Is that how Americans say it? Aluminum, I think. You've got to have something in your veins because these are crazy. And percentages get wild. You know, that's like owning a stonk, basically. 24% up. That means like, you know, 26, 27% down. Or even more. How much is a percent down? 18%, 9% down, 20% up. That's right. But yeah, they're very, very wild, and you've got to be careful. AMD hit a support yesterday, 20 exponential moving average. Hopefully that can continue to do a bit of rallying here as they buy back the stock. And then we have actually, for the first time, possibly some stocks that could be on serious levels. So, you know, Barber obviously getting tons of negative press, but it is on the all-time trend line, okay? The all-time trend line. It is literally the 11th hour, and it could be all over so quickly. This is bad. Like, if it goes under here, which I don't expect it to, but if it did, that's really bad for Barber, and it's really bad look for all the Chinese tech stocks. So let's hope that it holds this trend line. Let's hope it does. All right, let's do a couple of these other ones. We've got a question coming in from someone labeled Old Guy. Thank you very much, Old Guy. We never discriminate against any question, by the way. Tom, can you speak to why you don't like to trade the first hour of trading? Yeah, I certainly can. So for me, I like the daily close the most because it tells me everything I want to know about what Wall Street's doing. Are Wall Street buying into the close? Are Wall Street selling into the close? Where did they close the candle in firstly? Is it above the support? Is it below the support? I've learned over the years that it's one of the most accurate kind of ways of seeing it. Weekly, daily is the best. It lets you have a higher statistical chance of being successful with your TA. Now, why I don't trade the first hour is usually because it goes up, down, and all around. There's a lot of traps in there. And there's also a lot of fake market futures that come into the US. How many times have you seen the session where the fake market futures come in, like yesterday, they're down hard, and then it rallies through that session, or it's down hard in the day before? I'll probably already make the decision on the day before this trade. Now, this one, fake market rallied through. Sometimes you got to trade the morning, but in general, what will happen is a Monday might come in super bad. Then by the end of the day, it's good, or it might come in super good, which is usually the way Mondays work. And then by the end of it, it's bad. I don't like that first hour. I like knowing where the close is. And that's where I think the better positions get put through, near the close rather than the open. But the main reason is because they know that all of you guys are sitting here in the morning going, "Ooh, what am I going to make money on today? Money, 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 money." You haven't positioned yesterday because you don't like holding overnight. You position in the morning. That's when the fun is. If you're selling premium on options, would you sell premium at the end of the day? No. You'd sell premium in the morning when you get more premium, more bang for your buck. H. Kelly, $5 Australian. Bitcoin is moving back up past resistance at 33,200. Let's have a look for you, sir. So, BitNoodle. The BitNoodle. Ah, man. The TA on the BitNoodle right now, as I suspected, as I feared after a big crash, it sucks. I don't like it. And I've said this consistently now for weeks, ever since this happened. I'm really only looking at one thing, and that is the weekly. I want to know where this weekly closes for the BitNoodle. If it closes above the 50 exponential moving average, that's sweet. And I'm very, very excited for it because this just continues our story of we are not prepared to go down, damn it. Every time the bears push it down, the nasty whales who are adding shorts push it down, it rallies through. So I'm looking for a weekly to close above the 50. Now, if it doesn't, and let's say it closes below, let's say we get down here, and you got like one like that, I'm almost convinced that we're like, I couldn't feel, I wouldn't place any more buys for me. I would be waiting for a much lower price at that point because these, I mean, obviously the real key is getting underneath these lows, but the weekly tells me a lot about the story of the bulls and the bears and the fight between them. And if the bulls aren't able to rally it each week, I'm starting to feel the weakness coming through. And of course, that means that this whole sitting there is just another section of further declining price. Here's what I would also look at if I was you. I would check out this on the 4 hour and I would say, look, currently we have lower high, lower high, lower high. Where's the true rally? The true rally is when we breach this series of nasty lower highs. The only good thing that's happening on the small time frames is you could argue we've got a lot of consolidation, we're at a key resistance, and we're about to breach that zone. So I could see a rally here for the next 24 hours if it breaches this zone. That would be cool. I hope it happens. But when it hits the top of this trend line, I'll be watching it like a hawk. We got the laser eyes on this one, H. Kelly. Ethereum, very, very similar. Little double bottom occurring here. Just like Bitcoin, if this breaks the 2160, I expect rally. The rally should go hopefully into the trend line bottom. And then at that point, we'll find out whether Ethereum's ready to go. I'm optimistic here on the cryptos. I still feel the bullish power. But at this stage, yeah, it is a bit of a problem. Let's dial in here on all of the stocks. I know we're about to open the market. Things that we're looking at today, I definitely didn't get enough of them up. I actually think it's kind of like not the tech stocks. I feel like it's probably going to be the financials. It's probably with the US 10-year. It's probably going to be like those airline stocks, maybe the Vegas stocks, those types of things that have the better entries, because they're the ones that have really been beaten down in the recent weeks. And with the US 10-year going up, that generally means, and also you can see it just here in the futures, there's a bit of a mismatch in the sectors. Even Starbucks has been doing all right. So you look at Starbucks here on the chart. Old Starbucks has had a breakout, and it's even having a little movement up. This is a very nice breakout, and it did almost come back down to it. So yeah. All right, we'll get AMC up. AMC. I know you guys want to watch that into the open. We'll watch Tesla into the open as well. Let's do Tesla. We will watch something you guys vote for, and then I guess we'll watch the Dow. Why not? Dow? Yeah, watch the Dow. 5-minute Dow. We never watch the Dow. There we go. Tesla's set. Chuck that on a 5-minute. AMC, where are we? Oh, right at resistance. 48.59. Oh, not yet. Could be a little bit more rally here in AMC. Goes up to like the 52 range. Oh. I don't think I'm bullish on that. I was bullish yesterday. And now I'm like super neutral. I don't have any full opinion on it. I'd actually go neutral bearish. If you're rallying into this so quickly after a big rally down into a Friday, we know that the apes aren't that strong, so they often do push it down into the close. A lot of them might take profit today, fearing what they saw on the yesterday's session. So just be careful there on AMC. Barber for the win. Okay, we'll get the Barber in. Barber. Barber is at the very, very key. That 200 is a super support for this one. Daman Sani says $2.99. Lastly, buddy, you said US stocks over ASX. Why? The problem with the ASX stocks, we have no tech. We just saw I've been a big ASX fan for the last decade in many ways, but we don't have enough tech, man. We have a lot of banks. We have a lot of companies I understand here in Australia, but at the same time, it's really a dividend play. So you buy Australian stocks, you collect sweet dividends. We have the best taxation system for dividends. We have the best income for dividends. It's glorious. It's glorious. But the US is where the innovation's at. It's where everyone wants to be. It's super important. We're 20 seconds off here from the open. Let's get that bell going on. We've got plenty still to cover. So let's get that bell. I'll play it for you now. Congratulations, guys, for making it through to Friday. Tough week. No doubt, I wouldn't blame you if you are sideways to slightly down this week. It is not the easiest of trade sessions. It's been some pretty nasty stuff, especially in the hyper stocks. Here we go, though. Let's see this open. So US 30 does come in around the right zone. So the futures got it correct. Futures 0.77%. US 100 is failing because of the 10-year. That'll be the story tomorrow. US 500, 0.48%. So let's see how this market holds through the first couple of hours. Tesla starting to rally here, 655, up 0.42%. And AMC I'm not convinced by AMC. Maybe the apes will push it through, but yeah, we'll see about that one. Barber 202. Let's scroll down through the other stuff. So what have we got here? Oh, where are we? So we've got Square opening at 0.84%, Neo 2%. Nice. That's almost at the resistance we talked about just before, 46.64. Maybe it hit it. Apple flat. Snow up 0.95, continues to have that kind of pentagon contract or whatever it is moving through with it. Barber 0.96, Beam, another CRISPR based stock up. So we're getting an early pullback here. Can't say it's unexpected. Use the US 500 for this. Go to the 2 hour, sorry. I could actually see this happening. Pullback here before the rally. Remember, that was what we covered at the start. Pullback to here, somewhere in this area, and then ideally a rally through. That would be sweet. So let's see if the pullback does come in. Barber, money coming in. These stocks, they got to be under. They got to be under. Not financial advice. You guys make your own decisions, but they're at the technical supports that we were looking at. They are at the technical supports. That's the Chinese stocks I'm talking about. Like, look at them all. You put all 4 on. Let me put a few here on. Where is this thing? They're super risky, though, for the government plays. I mean, Baidu, full-on big support. What else have we got? Barber, massive support. JD, it's on that support. You know, damn. What's that, Monica? What's too much? Pin Duo. PDD. Ugh. This company is questionable. I don't understand this company. I looked at its fundamentals. I was like, their average spend was really weird. There was weird things there. So in answer to your question, Demand, while we go through all of this stuff, yes, I do like the ASX market, but it's more a dividend market compared to the US, where innovation is key. If our government did more about innovation, I think we could be leaders in healthcare, super hardcore leaders, but we're not. Andrew Baldwin, we have like 5 great companies, has super chatted $1.99. F-Cell, Fuel Cell. Thanks a lot. Love the stream and love the show, Tom. No worries, man. F-Cell, let's have a look. The Fuel Energies. What's the question about, Rashad? Did he do something? I'll check that out in a second. Fuel Cell, down quite a lot, isn't it? 2 hour. Yeah. I'm not really seeing anything. I'm like, oh, yes. Weekly. Maybe that. It's never closed underneath it. That's a good sign. If it doesn't close underneath it. Not probably one of my favorites. You're basically buying something that looks sick. But it is at the very critical level. No weekly has closed underneath this thing since that big rally that occurred. So be aware of that. But yeah, if it's going to turn, it's going to turn here. There's no good TA there, unfortunately, on that one, Andrew. $7.77, $5.77. That's a very interesting one there. STMP, holding since 190, was wondering when and how finally hit. So what about OSTK, sympathy play? Oh, it hit, finally. Okay, cool. STMP, you've been holding it since 190, was wondering when and how, and then it finally hit. So let's have a look at STMP for a second here. Stamps.com. Damn. What the hell? Whoa. Stamps.com kicking ass, man. One of the podcasts I listened to talks about this one. Yeah. I don't blame you, dude. I feel like get the hell out. We're bail town, USA after the pumpy dumpy this thing's done. Congratulations, Sandola. That's really cool. OSTK, overstock.com. Is that a sympathy play? I don't understand the business that well. That being said, let's have a look at the daily here. That was crazy. Stamps.com, the podcast stock. You don't need to go down to the post office anymore. Just go on stamps.com, print it off, put the label on, it's all good. Isn't that what they say? $90 and 12 cents. Nice bullish hammer, reversal, bullish above. Yeah, I mean, it looks okay. It's at the right zone. Previous resistances, support. Got to be careful around 95 sand dollar in case it makes some stupid head and shoulders and then you get problems there. But you do know where your big issue is. 50 exponential moving average is probably your cut level, something underneath that. So if you like the risk reward, then yeah, makes sense. I can't speak about whether it's a sympathy play or not. And then we've got Luke Simard, Canadian $5. No message, but thank you very much for your support there, Luke. And we are caught up. So how's this market looking? What's going on here? US 30 has recovered back to the same zone. We've got people asking about BA, which is Boeing. Let's look at Boeing. I got no real opinion on this other than what I've always said, which is, man, that's a sweet weekly. I would be happy if Boeing just sat there at 0.3% today. That'd be a sweet weekly close. Wouldn't that be cool? Nice bullish hammer. Get a little bit of follow through next week. We can go above. We can go to 260 again. Boeing suffered from that. Wasn't big deal, but obviously there was that missing plane or something. It is a big deal for the people on it, but I think it was a cargo plane. I don't know. The media got into it. That's the thing. So we've got here hammer. If we close like this, then we see follow on next week. Could be a good play into the 260 zone. 260 plus, you know what I'm thinking. 280, 300, 320. Nothing changes there on Boeing. Hold the line is what I say at this point. Hold the line. $7.77, US $7.77. Thank you very much, man. Roger that, mate. And thank you. Cool. That's good. And then we have a question. Oh, Rashad, no worries, man. He said he wanted... Yeah, I appreciate it, sir. Don't worry, if the mod did something, it was accidentally. You were supporting me. That's all good, Rashad. We love it. Did we do BNGO? We can do BNGO. Bit sick, isn't it? Oh, man. These are just like, if I go and see any of these types of stocks, I mean, what can you say? It just doesn't look cool. Like, what does that tell us? As soon as we see this screen, we say, well, we could maybe look at day trades, but is there any clear defined trend other than sideways? Is it at a support? Maybe. I mean, there was buying here. There's been buying here. 200 dailies coming up. I really am neutral to bearish on this, man. I don't find any... You've always got to be optimistic about a stock. If you love the fundamentals, believe in it, man. But yeah, it's nothing. There's nothing there. BTC, 33,400 almost, which is sweet. Shanghai Comp coming back through with the 0.04. The Dow continues to be the rally card here. US 500. How much did it end up coming down? Not much at all. So it still may sell off a little bit more throughout the session. We'll have to watch and whether it does do that. I wouldn't be scared for it to get down here. That would be fine. And most of the stocks that we like as suspected are not the ones that are running throughout this session. It will all the money will be flowing into the other sectors. Let's have a quick look at the sectors. Coifin. It'll all be in finance and other stuff like that. Let's have a look at the sectors together. Sector. All right, here we go. Finance, materials. Yep, 1.47. Finance, materials, and industrials. The trifecta combo meal deal. That's where they all are today, guys. They're all here, and they're not in a lot of our favorite sectors. Our sectors suck today, and these sectors are the ones that are winners with the 10-year going what it is. And I would expect that to probably be the theme for the session, purely based on how much some of those ones have been smashed down. Someone says SPCE. Is it going up more? Oh, it's down 5.3%. Yeah. You know what I feel about this? We'll look at SPCE in the future, but I don't feel super hot with the AMC today. And if I don't feel super hot in AMC, I guess I can't feel super hot for the SPCE. Maybe that was all it is. If you rally past here, you could see it going back to the resistance, but yeah, time will tell. Not my favorite stock there, guys. What else do we have here coming in? Airline support is the government bank check, says Kim Lim. Why? Because they bail them out. And we've got some other private messages coming in here. Oh my God, knock knock. That is a meme. You should put that thing in the meme. That's hilarious. And supposedly MA MasterCard has huge amounts of calls on it. I added a new bot to the private community. It's pretty cool. It's kind of like Unusual Whale or one of those Twitters where you can follow it and it gives you like all of the dark pool liquidity and all that kind of information straight at your fingertips. But I'm trialing it for private members. You guys will have that very, very soon if I like it and if I think it is useful to the community. Supposedly there's a lot of calls here. I'm not seeing it in today's market action. Let's actually have a look at MasterCard here for a second. Ugh, their new logo is so stupid. Such a stupid logo. That has been one of the lamest trades in quite a while, hasn't it? I can't get behind these Visa MasterCards anymore. I think their time in the sun was done. What do you guys reckon? Why is Didi going up? Because all of the Chinese stocks are going up. Is this going up? 3 point... Yeah, damn. Imagine if that goes bullish today. It's actually a very strong candle pattern. If you get a gap down, effectively long leg doji or a hammer or anything, and then you get a bullishness here. We'll check out Didi next week. Very gamblery there to buy that. But I think they'll eventually sort it out. They always do. All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us through the Friday session. Hopefully you have a good day. I still think it's all about the banks, which means, of course, also the Russell will be fire for the session. Look at that US 30 go through here. US 500 coming. Banks, industrials, whatever it is, that's going to be the story of the session, I would say. As long as also the 10-year yield holds up and continues to rally. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing for the markets. Remember, we're not far off our community trend line. We're not far off our QQQ trend line. And we're certainly not far off either the Dow having a little bit of a nice breakout. This is a serious technical here. Look at that resistance. So the Dow might be one of the best trades next week. Who knows? We'll have to be on it. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. Remember to subscribe if you enjoy the channel. And we will be putting out a video probably my Sunday, which will be Saturday night in the US. And I wish you guys all the best. I really do. So it should be a good one. I'm just hoping. I'm hoping that crypto can fire for you guys. So my stupid square can start moving. Because that thing... It is probably my most frustrating love affair with a with a stock that I've had in quite some time. I don't know why I keep holding this stupid thing. I should have just gone more into Shopee like I was thinking. But I'm in there. I'm in the bio. You guys know I love the bio. It's all good. And I hope it keeps going through. And I hope all these Chinese stocks come good for a lot of you out there. Look at that. Even our short potential stocks are going well. It's great. This stock, though, I'm watching you, Build-A-Bear, because when you close underneath this level, I'm going to put a put on you, and I'm going to take you down, Build-A-Bear, if you get it done. I'm not sure if your bears are that good. All right, see you, everyone. Bye for now. Trishan says, Afterpay over Square, Tom. Yeah, Jack Dorsey, man. Come on, Jack Dorsey. Come on. I don't trust him. It's like the Twitter all over again. He looked so good. His Cash App was so successful. Come on, Jack Dorsey. Thank you, $77 US $4. I'm just reading you guys' chat. It's all right. Just reading what you guys are saying. Just chilling out. Tom loves Jack. I love Jack if he does. He needs to do the right things. Announce stuff right now, bro. Oh, I need to drop the Friday heat. All right, I'll come back. 1 second. I will come back. I'll drop it for the people that are very loyal and somehow sit around here for a while. Let's do it. Why not? All right, let's do it. 20 seconds. If I own Square, I would allow more cryptos than just Bitcoin. Is this today? Maybe. Sweet. All right. Catch everyone. Bye for now.